Let's get back to that breaking news from the Justice Department. As I mentioned, and we were talking earlier, former FBI Director James Comey was deemed, quote, insubordinate in handling the probe into Hillary Clinton and the email scandal that took place, the personal use of emails damaging the Bureau and the Justice Department's image of impartiality. And the critical point, though, here is that he's not deemed to have been motivated by politics. This, according to the department's Watchdog and the report that we got released in just the last few moments. Let's get some context here. We're joined now by Sahil Kapur, Bloomberg's national political reporter, live on Capitol Hill. Sahil, just take us through some of the details of this report. And I'm sure the president would beg to differ because he's argued the whole way along that this findings in the FBI were rigged in favor of Hillary Clinton.
Right. So the Inspector General report found that James Comey was being insubordinate in his handling of the investigation into Hillary Clinton's email server. Now, it did not fault his ultimate decision not to charge Hillary Clinton, which is what Republicans and President Trump's allies have faulted him for. They say the DOJ and the FBI essentially let her off easy. The Inspector General's report disagrees with that. But what it does fault Comey for is the fact that he spoke publicly about this investigation in defiance of Justice Department and FBI protocol. Not something they generally do in the heat of a campaign when some of this stuff is still being investigated and charges are not being pursued. Democrats have looked at this report and argued that the FBI's actions, James Comey's actions, essentially helped make Donald Trump president. Elijah Cummings and Jerry Nadler, two senior Democrats, have argued that there was a double standard in Comey's actions in that he spoke out critically about the Hillary Clinton investigation while concealing the separate investigation into potential coordination between Donald Trump's campaign in 2016 and Russian officials. So there's a lot to chew on here.
A lot to chew on here. And in terms of looking at the response from the Attorney General's office, Jeff Sessions coming out and saying that this Watchdog report reveals a number of significant errors and that this is not the end of the process. How do you read into his comments on whether there will be any new probes opened? And if so, who would be leading them?
Well, keep in mind, Attorney General Sessions is, he's in a context here where he's facing a lot of pressure from his boss, the President of the United States, to continue to pursue evidence that the FBI and the DOJ were biased against him, are biased against him. Of course, Comey was dismissed by President Trump in the middle of 2017. That decision led to the appointment of Special Counsel Robert Mueller, who's faced an enormous amount of criticism from President Trump as he pursues links between his campaign in 2016 and Russia. There have been numerous indictments and a number of guilty pleas, including from Trump's senior officials. So this has really, really rankled the president. And Sessions is in a position right now where he has to scour over this and make a decision that could upset President Trump or find a way to, or find something wrong in this report, as he has suggested he sees, and make the president happy.
Good stuff. Thank you so much, Sahil Kapur. Thank you so much for the instant analysis there on the release of this report from the DOJ's Inspector General. We'll have more as the headlines continue to cross.